The Grinch. How did the Grinch, they say that the Grinch stole Christmas, right? You ever seen people dress up as the Grinch and they pretend to steal the presents of the children? That is a custom. A custom that, first of all, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans should not be following. But let's think about what it actually does for this type of custom. It makes the kids go out of their mind. That some little green monster coming in, taking their presents. Why? Because that is a custom of this world. The custom of Christmas. And what did the Most High God say?
The customs of the people are vain.
Right, the customs of the people are vain.
You mean everything to me because I know you mean everything to Christ. And Christ means everything to me.
I called on the Lord. I said, that Father, this is real. Will you watch over them? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you called for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they don't follow the law, they doing it. You said under YAHANNA they ought to love one another, and they doing it.
We're in December. December, this is, of course, the holiday season. So today's topic, what we're going to be talking about, is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, also known as the Israelites today. Should they be following the customs of this world? Should they be following Christmas? Did Christ celebrate Christmas? And is this something that we should, as a people, continue to follow? But we're going to find out today. Our brothers have been talking about this all day, knowing that you can find this information right in the Bible. Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 10, start at verse 1. So we're going to learn today out of the Bible if the blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans, should we be following these customs today in America?
That's right.
Read that when you got it, brother.
It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Right, so this is the Most High God, the Lord, Yahweh. He is talking to a certain group of people. And this group of people was who?
O house of Israel.
This is the house of Israel.
Right.
So when they tell you in society, it doesn't matter where you come from, things like this doesn't matter. Well, it does, because you got to identify who you are according to the Bible. Right. And the house of Israel consists of the blacks, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans.
That's right.
And the only way you're going to be able to understand that is if you go into the Bible, the Old Testament, to understand those tribes of people. But we have it for you right there on the chart, the 12 tribes chart. If you take a look at that, we can already break it down for you. That consists of the house of Israel. So this is who the Most High God is talking to. No, go ahead and start that from the top. Read that from the top.
It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you.
Right, so it says, hear ye the word that the Lord speaketh to you. So he's telling them, you better hear what the Most High God is saying. Hear his word that he's saying to you. Read on.
O house of Israel.
O house of Israel. So we're saying it again. This is who the Most High God is giving instructions to. So the Most High God gives commandments to a certain group of people and responsibility that these people are supposed to do. They're not supposed to be doing everything else as far as the other world goes. They have a specific duty to do. Now, let's read on.
Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Thus saith the Lord. So the Most High God, he is saying to not learn the ways of the heathen. Now, what are some of the ways of the heathen? Well, we kind of talked about it today. Christmas is a way of the heathen. These paganistic rituals that they do today.
That's right.
Those are some of the ways of the heathen. And what are heathens considered? Heathens are considered the strange people that are outside of the nation of Israel. Because think about it: if our nation of people, we're all look alike, we all do the same thing, we all have our own traditions, and then we see someone else outside of the nation of Israel doing something outside of our customs, then what would that make them? Heathens.
That's right.
Heathens. Read on.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Now these heathens, they will look up in the skies, they will look at the stars, and they would be dismayed or afraid of some of the signs in the heavens. They would be dismayed or afraid of some of these so-called ritualistic, paganistic ideas or philosophies that they for somewhere came up with. But did the house of Israel, were we dismayed at them? No. Why not? Because we had our own rules to follow. We were with the Most High God at the time. We knew that those things in heaven, like the UFOs, the stars, they're there for us to look at, but it's not for us there to worship.
That's right.
But it is, but we're not afraid of them. These heathens, they were dismayed at the signs of heaven. Read that again from the top, verse 2.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. So the Most High God is telling this group of people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the house of Israel, that they're not to follow the ways of the heathen. We are not supposed to be like them. We're not supposed to be taking on those type of customs. We're not supposed to be dismayed at these different types of signs. Read on.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Read on.
Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain.
Right, so now we're getting into the customs of these heathens. The customs of these heathens, they are vain. And what does vain mean? Vain means worthless.
That's right.
For no reason. You're doing these customs for no reason. It has no meaning behind it at the end of the day, and it's not serving any purpose. You're doing it for no reason. Read it again. We're gonna read that for the customs of the people are vain multiple times when I start giving these different examples, okay? All right, read that again.
Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain.
Right. So let's talk about some of the customs. How about this? Every time around this time, the parents will take their kids to the mall to sit on Santa Claus's lap. Right? For what?
That's right.
To have the kids believing that there's some a fat man that's going to deliver them presents, and they sit on his lap and make them believe that he's going to actually give them or bring them presents. Right? With all the pedophilia going out nowadays, why would you want to set a child on a fat white man's lap?
Right.
Because, read that again from the top. Customs.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Because the customs of the people are vain. That's a custom. The customs of the people are vain. How about another one? How about telling your kids that there's going to be some fat white man coming down your chimney to deliver the presents? So how is he supposed to get, first of all, down the chimney? I know blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we darn sure ain't letting nobody come in through no chimney. They might have wanted the Christmas presents, but you're not going to, I'm not letting you come down my chimney. Right? But again, that is a custom, right? And we don't have one. Right? Right. Khan. Most black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they don't have a chimney. They live in an apartment or the ghetto parts of in the projects, right? That's where we live. We won't see us with no chimney anyway, because they're what?
The customs of the people are vain.
Right. There again, that's another custom. Vain custom. There's more. How about singing those little silly Christmas carols? Singing those little Christmas carols, fa la 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 la, jingle bells, and whatever some of the other ones. I don't know. I don't follow. I lost away from Silent Night. There you go. I done lost my the Christmas spirit a long time ago, so I couldn't even tell you how it goes. But anyway, those are some of the customs. And what are they doing? What are you doing when you're actually singing those Christmas carols? What is it doing?
Right.
It's putting you in a Christmas spirit.
That's right.
It's putting you in that nice, good, feel-good feeling, right? But did the Most High God tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to sing Christmas carols? Did the Most High God tell His people to tell them that some fat white man was going to be coming down their chimneys? No, He did not. He told the nation of Israel that these customs are vain. We are not to follow these customs, right? Read that again.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Here's another one. Baking those gingerbread cookies. Baking those gingerbread cookies, those Christmas cakes that you do around the same time, around Christmas time. Everybody in the house having that holiday or supposedly Christmas spirit. You never come together on any other day of the year with family, but for some reason you decide that just this one time you're in the holiday spirit to finally just come together and bake those gingerbread cookies, those gingerbread what are some of the little candy cane treats that they make, right? That's another custom. And the custom is what?
For the custom of the people are vain.
Right. I got one more. Another custom. The Grinch. How did the Grinch, they say that the Grinch stole Christmas, right? You ever seen people dress up as the Grinch and they pretend to steal the presents of the children? That is a custom. A custom that, first of all, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans should not be following. But let's think about what it actually does for this type of custom. It makes the kids go out of their mind. That some little green monster coming in, taking their presents. Why? Because that is a custom of this world. The custom of Christmas. And what did the Most High God say?
The customs of the people are vain.
Right, the customs of the people are vain. Again, we as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans should not be following these customs at all. All it does is just destroy our people more and more. Now read on.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen.
Right, so Salak, brother. Pause. So the Christian church likes to always say that they believe in the actual Bible, right? But do they know that the actual talks about the Christmas tree here in the Bible, in the book of Jeremiah? Jeremiah is a prophet, and the Lord is speaking through Jeremiah. Right. And just like Jeremiah is a prophet, we are the prophets here today telling you the same thing back then. That's right. The Most High God has always an answer for everything. So if the Most High God never said you could do it, then you shouldn't be doing it. So this is talking about the actual Christmas tree. Read that again.
For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Right, cutteth the tree out of the forest. Right, so how do you get the Christmas tree into your home? You had to actually go out there and cut it out. That was the actual customs back then. You had to go out there and cut the tree down. Right?
Right.
Read on.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Right, so the workmen with the axe, right? You had that was some of the jobs back then for some of the men. They would be the workmen with the axe. You had to go down and cut down the tree, right? You bring it into the house. Read on.
Verse 4, they deck it with silver and with gold.
Right, they deck it with silver and with gold. So if you deck it with silver and gold, what would that represent today on your Christmas tree? That would be the ornaments, those so-called ornaments. I used to hate Christmas time as a child. Salaki. And I still hate it now, right? I still hate it now. My parents used to make me get up, and there's a big old box of ornaments that I had to go put on the tree, all around the tree. It was a custom that we were all supposed to do. Now as a child, now you don't know no better that this is something that you shouldn't be doing, that the Most High God don't want you to do. Right. Of course you love the presents as a kid. Who wouldn't like the brand new, I think it was Nintendo at the time. Now it's coming out, right? Nintendo. Like we're in what, PS5 right now? Right. Yeah, but anyway, you would like those presents as a child because you don't know no better.
Right.
But to get up and do these customs, it's just something that felt wrong about these customs. Putting all these different colored ornaments around a tree. That, like, what is the point of this? Because it was a custom. It was a custom your parents were taught. It was a custom that their parents taught, and they just kept on doing it as a tradition thing to do. Right? Read it again.
They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it moves.
Pause. Right, so they deck it with silver and gold, and then they fasten it so it doesn't move not, right? So they got to fasten it so it doesn't move. See, now they got, with technology now, they got the little stands that you can actually put in there with the tree and just stand it up, right? Or the little, the mechanical ones that you can just set up in there. But before the customs, they actually had real trees that they would take and put inside the homes, and then they had to fasten it with nails so it could stand up. Right? Read on.
That it move not. Verse 5, they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
Right. These specific trees, they do not move. They do not talk. They do not speak. Now, if you go back and look at the history of Christmas, you understand that they used to take this tree, they used to worship this tree, because they thought that this tree would protect them from ghosts and ghouls and goblins and everything. They thought that this tree had some special purpose, right? But these things, they just stand. They don't move. They cannot speak. Read it again from the top.
They are upright as palm tree, but cannot speak. They must need be born, but they cannot go. Be not afraid of them.
Right, do not be afraid of them. They used to be afraid of these actual trees. They thought that these trees would come alive and bite them. These were actual customs that they believed in back then. So as we were talking about before, should Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans be following a nonsense custom? Should they be worrying about something that can that has a history of this, where they believe that this actual Christmas tree would speak and move or do something? There's always a history behind something. The Most High God ain't going to tell you just not to do something for no reason. He always has a reason why he doesn't want you doing it. It's also tied to a God. Learn the history of Christmas and understand that most of these paganistic rituals or these paganistic customs, they're all tied to a God. And we all know that the Most High God is a jealous God, and he has no other gods before him. So you got to understand these customs are tied to that. And the Most High God does not want you following that. And a lot of those customs made us afraid, right?
That's right.
Read that again, brother, one more time from the top, and we're going to get off of it.
They are upright as the palm tree, but cannot speak. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither is it in them to do good.
Right, that means that they cannot do no evil, they cannot do no good, they cannot speak at all. Right, we're going to get off of that. Give me the book of Colossians, chapter 2, and verse 8. The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Now we're going to get some more, right? We're going to see some of these things, what these customs do. What did the Most High God in the Bible say about these customs? The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you.
It says what? Beware.
Lest any man spoil you.
Right, so the Bible says beware. The Most High God is warning you to beware. That means to look out. Don't even be cautious of, and not to let any man spoil you. And what does it mean to spoil? Oh, I just gave me an idea. Spoil means to destroy. Now with these customs, these Christmas customs, what happens to these children when you give them these presents? When you still keep giving these presents every single day or every year, the kids get accustomed to presents under a Christmas tree. Right. They get used to having it, right?
That's right.
And what does it do? It spoils them.
Right.
It spoils them. You ever seen a kid when he did not get that fast tracks that he wanted for Christmas? When he didn't get that hijacker? Those are race cars, by the way, if no one knows. If they didn't get those little racing cars or RCA cars when the Christmas time came, what did they do? They just got socks. They weren't even grateful for some of the presents. I'd be happy if somebody just gave me socks. I'm appreciative of anything anyone gives me. But what does that do? It spoils you. It destroys you as a not only as an adult, but especially as a child, because they're used to that custom.
Right.
Read that again.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right, it says beware lest any man spoil you. Right? So you do not want to let any of these customs spoil you. It also spoils your children. Read on.
After the traditions of men.
After the traditions of men. So when we look at the Christmas, this is the tradition of man. The Bible just sat here and told you that they're not to follow that. The Bible just sat here and told you from the Most High God, the house of Israel, that we are to beware and we are to obey his word and not to follow the customs, because the customs of the people are vain. Right? Read on.
After the rudiments of the world and not after Christ.
Right, after the rudiments of men. That just means like the principles. Those principles, those philosophies that they have and the ideas of Christmas that you should follow. Following those Christmas carols, following those traditions, all those examples that I just gave, those are the rudiments of men. Those are the philosophies of men. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not to follow Christmas. Those are of the heathen. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. You are the heathen.
That's right.
Those are your traditions. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, all those. That's not for the children of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That is not our custom. Read that again, one more time from the top. They need to hear it.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men.
Right, this is the traditions of men. If you follow these customs, not only are you deceiving yourself, you're pissing the Most High God off. Right. Because this is not our custom. This is something that we should not be following as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I'm going to keep repeating that because this is not our custom.
That's right.
Salakia, those are all vain customs. Right? And also, read that last part again, about the Christ part.
And not after Christ.
Right, and not after Christ. So these customs, they have nothing to do with Christ. Christ never told us to follow Christmas. Christ never told us to follow Thanksgiving. He never told us to be part of any of those traditions of men that they made. Now, if Christ specifically told us in the Bible to do that, then that'd be a different story. But nowhere in the Bible does it tell us to celebrate Christmas. We can just prove to you, it does talk about the Christmas tree in the Bible, but it tells you not to celebrate Christmas. Doesn't tell you to do it. Now, does it?
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're one